some very, very special press conferences, several with some of the folks that you have on the stage. And to have a front row seat for those moments is among the most cherished memories that I'll ever have. When Mike called me earlier this week to see if I was going to be in Phoenix on Friday, said yes. Didn't tell him if I wasn't, I'd have changed my flight, no matter what it would have cost, when he told me what it was. Because in my opinion, today will go down as one of the announcements that helps evolve and celebrate and move forward the foundation of our sport, just like some of them that we've had in the last number of months. For our very special announcement this morning, we're joined today by team owner of Petty-GMS, Maury Gallagher, team president, Mike Bean, a couple of guys that need no introduction, chairman of Petty-GMS and 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion and inaugural NASCAR Hall of Famer Richard Petty, and another 7-time NASCAR champion and very familiar face who we haven't seen nearly as frequently as we'd like to over the past year, Jimmie Johnson. Also in the room with us, we're joined by Petty-GMS's Director of Competition and Engineering, Joey Cohen, and the 2023 driver lineup, Cup Series drivers Eric Jones and Noah Gregson, and GMS Racing's Truck Series driver Grant Enfinger. So we thank you all for being here today, and with that, I'd like to turn it over to Maury Gallagher, who has some news to share. Maury?
Thank you, Winston. Yes, I think Winston has set the stage. I'm just very excited today to announce that 7-time Cup champion Mr. Jimmie Johnson is going to be joining Petty-GMS as an owner and a competitor. And we'll have more. Jimmie can talk about that. But it's pinching myself sitting up here with this kind of talent and this kind of record. And I can honestly say that while we didn't anticipate having this kind of talent up here, it was never not a goal. We want to be at the top. When I chatted with Richard last year as we put our team together and the like, his goal was to be, up front, to be a winner. Mike and I joined forces back in 2015, and since that time, Mike's overseen 41 truck wins, 2 championships, and many ARCA wins and championships as well. So that's the culture of this program, and we want to do it now at the highest level in racing motorsports. And on a personal note, if you had told me when I started in racing in 2010 I'd be sitting here today, well, that would have been a bridge too far probably. But I couldn't be more excited personally to be here, to be involved with these 2 gentlemen. Jimmie is going to be obviously a great name and help with a lot of our awareness and marketing, but obviously on the competition side, working with our drivers, Eric and Noah, Grant, all those things will be positives. I think you're going to hear from him, and he's going to be as excited to be back and doing this stuff and as he moves on in his career and the like. But from a Petty-GMS, where we're going, this is a phenomenal step for us. Richard obviously was the first bridge, now this one. Very, very excited about that. But I'm sure you'll hear good stuff out of these guys. But we look forward to the 23 season. Our driver contingency is as good as anybody in the business. Mike and the competition side have shown good stuff, as you saw with the Darlington situation. So it's very exciting times for us.
Thank you, Maury. Jimmie, I remember you telling me the night before you announced that you were stepping away from full-time competition and stepping away from Hendrick Motorsports, that you weren't done, you just didn't know exactly what that path might be. And you've been true to your word, that you kept very active, and I'm sure I join a lot of people in the garage that look forward to having you back. So how does it feel to be coming back on such a regular basis in NASCAR? How does this day and this evolution feel to you?
Honestly, it feels incredible. I must say I did not see this in my future. This is something that, an opportunity that's developed that makes sense for so many ways, so many reasons, and an opportunity I'm honored to be a part of and very excited to be a part of. So with all that being said, again, this wasn't last time I was really at a NASCAR race was here in 2020, other than the double, at the Brickyard IndyCar race. So when I left here, I really had no idea what was in store for me. I knew I wanted to try IndyCar, and amazing experience there. And stepping away from full-time IndyCar, I wanted to create, get 8 to 10 race schedule, just really fun races, and certainly coming back to NASCAR. And as this conversation started, it's one that I really had to pay close attention to, and an offer that, an opportunity that it's just a life-changing opportunity for me, and one that I had to take. So I'm very excited about this.
Richard, you and I have talked a lot, as you have with everybody in this room. You were there at NASCAR's first Cup Series race, the family business, Petty Enterprises, and the evolution that became Richard Petty Motorsports and now Petty-GMS Racing. So talk about the addition. What do you feel about the addition of Jimmie Johnson and what that adds to this race team, how things continue to build and evolve?
Me and Murray talk all the time about, what can we do to improve our situation, make our business bigger, win us more races. And he called me one day and said, I've been talking to Jimmie Johnson, and I said, you got to be kidding. Jimmie Johnson wants to be involved with us, or we want to be involved with him. And from that standpoint, I just sort of went off the edge, and I said, this has got to be one of the biggest things that's happened to the Petty crowd and GMS from that standpoint. We joined Cahoots last year, got a pretty good start this year, but with Jimmie adding on with his popularity and the people he knows that we don't know, it had to be a heck of a deal. So from my standpoint, it's a big step, not just for 1 year, but I'm looking farther down the road. If Jimmie comes in, does his deal, I'm 85 years old, so I'm not going to be here for another 15 or 20 years. And then Jimmie could kind of take over. So that had to be a plus.
Mike, when you look back over your 40 plus, maybe 50 plus year career, you've been with a lot of great drivers, a lot of incredible owners, be it Richard, Bill Elliott, Junior Johnson, all of them. So what does this mean? And you've helped build GMS from the ground up. What does this mean for the future when you look at Petty-GMS Racing?
Well, it's definitely, the future looks bright for us, and when this all started, and Maury, we've talked about this for a couple of years. Okay, what's our future? And so once we, went with the Cup program, and, he acquired the charters, and, especially, it's pretty special for me, of course, for Richard and Kyle and the Petty family, because that's where I really started Cup racing. And this is, like I was telling Richard last week, it's our future, and Jimmie's our future, and so it's exciting for us, because I feel like he's going to bring a totally different mindset, to us on certain things. So I'm excited about that, and we couldn't do this, with the partners we have, without them, with Eric and the GM folks, and so we're very blessed, and it's just a special day for us. I mean, Petty-GMS has been in business for 11 months. I mean, so it's pretty crazy what's happened in 11 months, and I was telling Maury last night, that we were leaving the restaurant and talking about talk. I said, I'm about talked out. I'm about negotiated out. I'm about done here for a while. So hopefully, I know it ain't the last one, but still, excited to, for our future. And it's going to be, like I said, just when we announced Noah, and we're trying to fast track this. It's, and that's what we're doing.